The government education minister, Oxford, Cambridge educated British education minister, Mr. Professor G.L. Peris, is still unable to set a date for GC or A-level exams or the Grade 5 scholarship exams. That shows his commitments to the education of the children. He was more committed to his education, not others. That's why he became a you know, 3 PhD professor. That's a major problem because there's a conflict. Professor, GLP is thinking about his education. That is why he became a professor with, not to undermine him, but he is more concerned about his intellect than the children. This way, education cannot proceed. So anyway, in order to, with the British politics also here through him. Now, on the other hand, another important thing is now evaluation of the exams. Those who have the online facility, they can be evaluated online. Those who have the phones, let them be evaluated through phones. And those who do through the, the radio and television, let them be evaluated based on assignments submitted to school by physically through the postman, which is dependable, or through hand delivery. Or others who, have like other means like use that cable TV, satellite TV, let them be also evaluated through assignments. And those who can afford to go to the exam hall for exams, let them be evaluated through, sitting at the exam hall, physical exams, and not have like going to extreme during the pandemic. Please don't go into extremes because these days Gautama Buddha's teachings are more prominent. Go in the middle path. Even O levels, A levels, let it be split in different way. Let the children decide, parents decide how they want to be evaluated. Don't tell everybody to come to the exam halls, which is really an extremist thing during this COVID-19 period, especially since Gautama Buddha already taught not to go into extremes at all. So this is how the exam evaluation must be done. Term test evaluation must be done in schools. And I think with regard to the other issue is the this food items like Sri Lanka historically as a 2 year with a historical evolution and the our food patterns, like Sri Lankans never use milk powder, Sri Lankans never use sugar so this excessively, Sri Lankans never use tea or coffee. These plantations ruin our eating habits, and it resulted in like some energy drinks like excessive energy in tropical Sri Lanka. And tea, coffee, this is good for cold countries, not for tropical countries like Sri Lanka. Anyway, it's not part of our food program historically for 2500 years. So I think Sri Lankan government must scrap this food milk powder, uh, powdered milk, cow's milk powdered imports, and the sugar used so much. But and also tea, coffee, those industry must be scrapped and their land must be utilized for a better purpose. Especially, what is the purpose of giving the so-called tea when we can't get any support even to get dollars from the International Monetary Fund or World Bank, because they enjoy Ceylon tea after all, right? And then they don't help us to our children's education. Then why should we give them the tea? Anyway, tea, these areas in up, hill country, lower area, it's wasted, utter wasted for tea plantations during the pandemic. So this must be converted into another industry according to the economic strategy that I have already highlighted: land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, cyber strategy, which is more suitable to our country than what the British colonial rulers wanted to do. Like Singapore did, like Japan did, have their own economic strategy. So I think with regard to the sugar, we have to replace sugar with jaggery industry and honey, kitul honey, coconut honey, bee honey. People can use those products, not sugar. Sugar is a big problem, which results in diabetics. And milk powder, those are processed and there are various chemicals inside, so they must be banned. And accordingly, Sri Lanka must go for porridge. There are dal, green big dal, gram rather, uh, gram, and green gram, and then where there are various ways you can make a porridge, right? It it's really tasteful with rice and with jaggery. Those meals are more nutritious, more energetic than the milk powder which I have already practically experienced. So that Sri Lanka must pursue with regard to these, milk, the liquids that, and also these cold drinks. Whenever I drink cold, I don't use cold drinks, but whenever I used to drink several years ago, I get a headache. I can't focus my mind brain. If you drink cognition plus, if I drink Fanta, Coca-Cola, Sprite, or Elephant House, or Pepsi Cola, those things, so they have various bad effects. They must be scrapped, and instead people must be told to buy the vegetables and prepare porridge at home and consume them. That is the best way to do during the pandemic period. And the cold drinks must be completely banned because they ruin the once you use energy drinks and cold drinks, even like Coca-Cola, which is not part of our culture. The name Coke, is used in a different language to mean something else among children, and those drinking habits have ruined their immoral life, especially during the pandemic, or even before, during when children hold Coke like this and drink it. It gives a double meaning as to what they do by keeping the bottle to their mouth and drink. It's a different meaning. So don't scrub them and let the parents prepare the porridge at home for them to drink, and that is the best thing to do.